Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. In this slide, I'm going to explain on Islamic consumer ethics. Before this, I've already discussed on consumer behavior from conventional and Islamic perspective. Okay, now I'm going to explain to you what is Islamic consumer ethics. So, these are the contents of this chapter. First, I'm going to explain on Islamic consumer ethics. Second, the do's, and third, the don'ts. Okay, the learning outcomes of this chapter. At the end of this chapter, the students able to first define ethics and its fundamental in consumption, and second, they also will be able to explain the ethics in consumption in terms of permissible and prohibited ethics. As an introduction to Islamic ethics, through the Quran and Sunnah, numbers of ethical objectives and definite points of reference has been laid down to be the fundamental principles of social behavior. We know that in the Quran and Sunnah, there are so many evidences show that Islam really guides us, really teaches us on how to live our life in a good manner. For example, we are taught to always choose halal things in our life and avoid haram things. And we also encourage and being asked to be generous, moderate, balanced, responsible, accountable, and so many things. So those are the ethics that have been taught in Islam. The general requirements is that the end and means must be Islamically legitimate. So that's the main point in Islamic ethics. And Islamic ethics is an adequate framework to eliminate the possibility of any inconsistency arising between man's spiritual aspirations and his legitimate material pursuits. So that's why, that's the main purpose, the objective of why Allah sent our Prophet Muhammad SAW to this world, to teach us, to guide us the right way on how to live our life in a good manner. And spiritual bliss and material happiness come together in the Islamic unitary or undivided vision, which is perfectly equilibrated and balanced. Can you imagine that the whole people practice Islamic ethics in their life, whether they are consumers or they are suppliers, manufacturers, businessmen. Okay, so of course we able to live in harmony without any friction or conflicts among people. Now let's look on the definition of ethics. Ethics actually is originated from Greek word ethos. What is ethos? Ethos means customs, habits, character, moral, attitudes or ways of thinking. Technically, ethos means customs or mindset that is embraced by a group of people or society or pattern of action that is upheld and maintained by the community. In Islam, ethic means akhlaq. Akhlaq refers to a trait that is embedded in the soul of a person, which will act naturally without the need of consideration of thought beforehand. This is what has been said by Imam Al-Ghazali. Generally, human beings are affected or influenced by three factors. Yeah, there are three factors influencing personal ethical attitudes. First, and most probably the factor that has most impact towards one's ethical behavior, relates to one's own encounters, including the stage of his life development, personal values, influences from family and peers, life experiences, and situational factors. As a person develops and changes his or her personal ethical convictions and belief systems, he or she matures psychologically. A predetermined sequence of various stages of moral reasoning determines how one thinks about ethical issues and how one resolves moral dilemmas. At any given point of his or her personal development, he or she is at one ethical stage. So meaning, first factor, the ethics or the akhlaq of people actually is influenced by to what he or she has been exposed to. So, for example, the way on how he or she has been brought up by the parents, and then who become their friends, the environment, the experience they face in their life. So those that able to influence their ethics. Yeah. Second factor is it also relates to the legal framework within which an individual resides. Yeah. In most cases, the legal interpretations are based on the standards and values set by the society, and the interpretation vary according to the time and place. The second factor that influence personal ethics actually because of legal framework. For example, like we live in Malaysia, so of course we have different laws, different rules, yeah, compared to other countries, yeah. And the third factor relates to an organization within which one associates himself or herself. The organization usually communicates with the staff and various stakeholders through various means, among other things, code of ethics, client, charter, and policy statement. So the third factor that influence or able to influence personal ethics is the organization or companies or firms that he or she work at. Yeah. So these are among the factors that able to influence personal ethics. So that's why we need Islam, yeah, to guide us. Yeah, because all the three factors actually are based on human rationale, yeah, human mind. So not necessarily all the things that a person think it is right, it is really right for him or her. Yeah. So the yardstick or the barometer that we as a Muslim need to hold actually is based on Sharia. For example, like drinking alcohol or liquor. For certain person or people, they feel that drinking alcoholic drinks actually will be able to bring happiness or peace to their mind, able to solve problems. But in Islam, it is not a good thing. Yeah. So because of that, the yardstick, the barometer that we need to hold as a Muslim actually is the Sharia. Yeah. So anything which is good is the thing that permitted in Islam, and anything which is bad actually the thing that we must avoid in Islam. So that's why akhlaq plays a very important role in guiding human behavior.